Long ago, in a distant land, far beyond the reaches of common sense, a band of merry adventurers are stuck between order and chaos. So hang on to your data slab, and welcome to the Final Rules.
Hello, everybody. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Amazing. Hello, everybody. And welcome to episode 6 of the Final Rules. We are, of course, the Chaos Party. I am joined by 3 very wonderful regular players, as well as our very special guest, Emily Miller. Everyone, Emily is one of our new officers here at Artsy, but also a very talented improviser, does a lot of work with Commedia dell'arte, Louisiana Shakespeare Company, very well read and well studied. Emily, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Hope I don't disappoint.
No, Emily, I know you well enough that I know that you will not disappoint in any way, shape, or form. And besides, it's all improv, right? It's just like baseball, right? There's no crying in improv. There's only yes and.
Exactly.
But Brendan, Zach, Logan, it's great to see y'all. I hope that y'all are ready for this session, just like I am. But as always, with with the final rule, it is all completely improvised, which of course means that we have to draw a suggestion because improv is built on suggestions. So I'm going to go into our trusty Discord. I'm going to ask iBot to pull a suggestion, and our suggestion has been pulled. It is from our stream manager, Spencer, on our Discord, submitted in the Discord channel, The Bucket. It is Super Demonic Bunnies. That is our suggestion, Super Demonic Bunnies. All right, so with the suggestion pulled, with us being live, is everyone ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All righty. So we left off last time with the introduction of an old familiar name for the final rules, Derek Stormfighter, taking residence in a home that has been lost in legal limbo. Somewhere at some point it was meant to be an inheritance, but who was and who had versus who is and who has is lost a little bit in all of the bureaucracy, forms traveling from one desk to another in the city. But it has left it in a slightly precarious situation, especially for Mr. Grueyere, whose client it is that's trying to reclaim this property, claiming some sort of, again, an inheritance of some kind that has been lost to time. Derek invites the entire party in. It is rather late as y'all were approaching there, so Derek just kind of motions to the overall setup of what Derek calls Neo Goblonia, right? This is a about 2-story-ish house, maybe like an old converted like condo. 2 sides to each of it, a handful of living quarters upstairs, a communal kitchen downstairs, as well as like a den, a study, and what looks like a makeshift office, sort of all on the first floor. However, this house is not in any way unsettled. Not only do we have Derek here, but we also have what some more civilized people might call an infestation of goblins. These goblins stand right at around 2.5 to 3 feet tall. They are covered in iridescent scales that can lift up off of their skins and shimmer. And they can also cause those scales to change colors depending on mood, environment, their emotional state. A lot of people consider these goblins to be some more of like the simpler kind of creatures out in the wild. Some of them have been domesticated, but there is probably a group of, let's say, 10 to 12 goblins here that all sort of skitter away as you come in and out of this place. Derek welcomes you in. He still has probably about half of his joint left of the spark leaf. And he's just sort of puffing it as he's showing you around. Oh yeah, these are going to be. We have some places to stay upstairs. Down here, mostly the communal area. I got a door off close to the right. Just don't go in there until the morning. I've got some things to explain, but unfortunately, it's bedtime around here. All the goblins are starting to nest down for the night, and trust me, you don't want them to lose out on sleep, or they will wake you up at 5 a.m. with the worst noises you possibly heard. So, not to cut off any introductions, just know you are safe here. This is a place where travelers come all the time. Go ahead and get some rest. We're going to be talking in the morning, I'm sure.
All right. Well, okay.
So Derek leads you upstairs. There is an unoccupied 2 bunks and then, 2 bunk beds. So 4 total sleeping spaces, none of which are occupied currently at the moment. But as Derek sort of shows you into the room, he does kind of point off to the side and say, yeah, we have a couple of other intrepid travelers who just happen to find their way here that are also staying here. So mind quiet hours. We'll get you up for breakfast in the morning. But just so you know, this place is a kind of first come, first serve. So you have these 3 beds. But if anybody else comes in here, just know they might end up bunking with you.
Cool, fine by me. And is breakfast on us, or do you take care of that sort of thing?
Is it a communal thing, or?
Look, when y'all are in Neo Goblonia, we are all taken care of. It's one of the major rules that we set down as we started to found this place. Everyone gets taken care of by everyone. So breakfast is not on you. It is not on me. Together we shall accomplish breakfast, but not until the morning.
Are you saying somebody can just get in my bed while I'm sleeping?
That's a good question, actually.
Well, dude, what the hell place is this?
I'll knock first. Look, y'all can go outside and go rest if you want to. I won't stop you, but I figured having some nicer beds might, I don't know.
I'm sorry if I offended. I'm just saying, what's the point of a bed if somebody's just going to get in while you're... I felt like that... Maybe it's just me.
Typhus, when was the last time you slept in a bed?
Years.
Okay.
Fair.
Maybe just try it out again and see how it takes you.
Okay.
So the night winds on. Y'all all start to bed down a little bit. It's probably, I would say, 11-ish p.m. by the time that y'all get more or less settled.
Wish I had my book still. Left it at the apartment. I'm on page 2 of Infinite Jest.
You're not really that far. You might be able to just pick up another book while we're out.
No. It's further than you think.
Is that the one with the really, really big pages? It was 3 feet tall. Is that the book you're talking about?
It's like a 3-foot tall book, and the text size is biblically small.
Blair, I don't think that's
font.
Good for you.
No. I get a little headache when I read it. It's fine.
I think there was a disclaimer on the back. Yeah.
Yeah, you always look sick after you're done reading Infinite Jest.
It's mostly the text content.
That's nothing to do with it. It just gives you migraines to read.
It just gives me migraines, but it's really good, guys. I promise.
I don't know. You look sick. You feel sick. I feel sick. We all feel sick when we read it.
Blair, what happened to the book?
Oh, it's just left at the apartment.
How long has it been since y'all have been back to where you live, by the way?
Oh, 2 days now, if I had to guess.
Yeah, 2 days.
I gotcha. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I was keeping our timeline on track. But the night sort of, creeps on as it does, and y'all have one final moment of sort of a party solidarity before you all, get to sleep, not in a jail cell, not out and about, not even in your apartment, but it's kind of like a hostel, you know what I mean? That's surrounded by small creatures that could start screaming at any moment.
Weird that the fact that small creatures actually kind of reminds me of the apartment, but everything else is pretty new.
I don't like how we keep calling them small. I think they're all taller than me.
They appear to be a normal goblin size, I guess. Typhus, I hadn't really clocked that you're kind of a short guy.
3'8".
Oh, that's not too short.
You'd
3'8",
be the
45
tallest
pounds.
goblin I've ever seen.
Kobold. What the hell, man?
I know you're a kobold. I'm saying if you were a goblin, you'd be the tallest goblin.
Blair, we're not doing this again. I climb up to the top bunk. I'm going to bed.
Oh no. At some point, Typhus doesn't respond to any more prodding. Blair and Arnold. So Typhus is on the top bunk of one of the bunk beds. Arnold and Blair, are y'all bunking in the other one?
Yeah, I'm assuming this is like a triple decker bunk bed. I thought it was like
it can be. I was thinking like 2 separate bunk beds, but if you wanted to have 3 bunk beds and then like 1 regular bed off to the side, y'all 3 can gladly take the bunks.
I assumed that's how they did things in New Goblonia. It was just
hold on. It's not. We'll get there, but there's a marked difference between New Goblonia and Neo Goblonia. All right,
Neo Goblonia. Excuse me. Let me put the Neo in bold.
Just really make sure it's important. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there.
It's an 8-point font. That's why I can't read it. It's just like Infinite Jest.
But as I'm going to say, like as Arnold, like you're starting to slip off to sleep. You have these thoughts of New Goblonia and Neo Goblonia, and like really wondering how in these last 2.5 days you've ended up here. And in reality, I think all of the party, as they start to slip off into a long rest, kind of has that same thought of, wow, like if you had like told me not even like a week ago that I'd be bunking in a squatter's home on the fringes of the city that is infested with goblins, and also a 50-year-old sparkleaf smoker who is being rather cryptic but very open with his home, so like it is something I think that is very new, and it influences your dreams as you start to slide into sleep. I think that overall the stress of the past couple of days affects your dreams differently, and I would like to take a moment to kind of explore our players' psyches to a little bit of a degree. Blair, whenever you slip off to sleep, what sort of things are going through Blair's mind in his in the deep recesses of his subconscious?
I'm doing the same thing I've been doing every night as I get down to sleep, and it usually kind of bleeds into the dreams a bit. I'm workshopping ideas for my play about my play with Sylvia on the Wright brothers. It's spelled with an R. They're different guys from the other guys. Called the Wrong Brothers, and
clever. It's a good play on words.
It's sort of a
it hits you
subversion.
again. Yeah. You're like, as you get that dopamine burst, like as again the dreams are starting to take hold of. You're like, man, what a great name. That's just
what a great name. We've got to make the rest of this work. And so I'm going through the outline in my head and like living in the scenes a bit.
What about you, Arnold? How's your dream starting to manifest?
It's probably starting off normal. Like it's Arnold and Michael are probably hanging out around the kitchen table of the apartment. Michael's probably doing some topiary trimming, and Arnold is playing a Call of Duty. Just like, copyright infringing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And then there's like a comfort he finds in like just kind of the very normal pace of the day, and he goes to like look out the window to like see, oh, wow, it's a pleasant afternoon. And then like the large billboard of Mr. Grueyere turns to beckon him and leans down into the window and just like begins pressing at the glass. And I think Arnold just kind of stares at the wall and just can't tell what's real and what's a dream anymore. Everything's so strange.
So a bit of a restless night, perhaps, for Arnold.
Oh, certainly restless. Yeah.
And Typhus, so you have been hijacked by a higher being. You have spent now 2 days in jail, and also fell into a world that you're not entirely sure was ever actually real. How are your dreams shaping up?
Similar dream every single time. Me as a little baby kobold, I see a large hairy figure in the distance walking away, and I want to go towards him, but it's like moving underwater. It's like I'm in jello. I just can't get there.
Wow. You say that's a recurring dream for Typhus?
3 days
Nonsense.
straight, longest dream streak I've ever had.
Wow. That's well, that's probably fine. Typhus is probably totally fine if I had to guess. A completely
Yeah.
stable individual.
Great.
But I think that probably Arnold. You get kind of roused from sleep first. You know the billboard comes in. The eye of Mr. Grueyere seems to get closer and closer. You look into the eye and you see like a swirl of data just kind of flying past the emojis that you remember seeing on the Ikean cube that y'all tried to your best to bring back for Mr. Grueyere. It's floating around in there, and then suddenly you hear permeating through the dream. You hear, and then you you just
Mr. Grueyere? I
same thing,
rouse.
Blair. You're in your dream. You're going through you're on Act 2. You and Sylvia just finally had your big your big intermission number. You know the big final like building up to Act 3, and then you know Sylvia looks at you. And Typhus, you are dead asleep. You don't get woken up by anything. You're still swimming through the jello. But Arnold and Blair, like you both kind of like snap to roughly at the same time, and you see that standing in the middle of the room, the door is wide open, is a goblin who is seemingly staring straight up. So just like how birds, sort of on the side of their beak, have their eyes sort of off placed. Again, as I described last time, the goblins kind of have a very hard, almost like a plate on the front of their head that they usually use to like bash down on things that they need to break open, like nuts and stuff, as they forage through the forest. This goblin is staring straight up, and with its very, very articulate vocal system is screaming to the heavens, "It's a time for me! Come on, and you can hear that coming from every single room all the way down like this top floor. Every is a chorus of these goblins that are calling for a wake up.
Hello, critter.
One of its eyes focus on you, and you can see its pupil get smaller and smaller until it's a just a pinprick, and then suddenly all of its scales sit bolts upright, like these tiny diamond skewers sticking out from the goblin's underskin, as it flashes red in warning, and it just like runs out of the room.
You think it was matching the color of my skin? Should I be upset about this?
No, I think you made eye contact with it, and you it made it feel threatened in some kind of way.
Yeah,
I
you're
thought
not
he
supposed
was-
to make eye contact with anything.
Oh, Jesus!
Yep. Sure enough, sitting on the non-triple decker bunk bed is a halfling who looks to be of pretty strong build, very corded muscles, very stout. Emily, talk to us a little bit about what your character looks like.
Yeah, so she's a very stout little halfling. She's got some light brown hair that's chaotically done up in several different braids of different sizes and different lengths, all kind of amassing into one long braid with some puffballs hanging off the end of it. And she's got just some very earth-toned clothes on, kind of a tunic shirt with the sleeves like cut off, and some really nice boots.
All right, so Arnold, Blair, I'm about to say this is the first time that you've noticed that somebody managed to creep into the room while y'all were asleep, besides just the goblin.
Hello, Ruby.
Hey, what's shaking?
My
Mostly just the
hands.
goblins. Yeah. And each of our kind of grasp on reality. Those two things mostly.
Yeah, you're not really supposed to make direct eye contact with the goblins. It kind of spooks them, and then they go into hummingbird mode.
What on earth is hummingbird mode?
Well, you were just witness to it because you made the grave mistake of making that eye contact. You gotta learn how to duck and weave with the eyeballs.
What's the best way to address them? Do we just kind of talk at them? How do they know we're talking to them if we don't know their names or anything?
Yeah, you really shouldn't talk to them at all. They're like real skittish.
Oh.
Yeah, if you get a whole group of them near each other, then they all start screaming, and then your ears start bleeding, and you gotta deal with that whole situation.
Well, I kind of thought they were cute, but now I guess I'm doubting myself.
Yeah, no, it kind of seems like a pest problem at this point. If they, I don't know. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but maybe I just haven't really, I'm not familiar with the culture of the goblins, I guess.
Typhus, in your dreams, as you're moving through slow motion, you trip over a shoelace and you start to fall towards the ground, still in slow motion. And the ground rushes up to meet you in your dream, and suddenly you snap awake.
Oh. Well, let's go evict these guys.
Oh, wait,
Whoa, Typhus.
Hey, go on, Typhus.
Let's do it. Let's evict them, guys. I think we got a good night. We tricked them. We were able to. And now, are we killing or are we evicting? I don't think we ever decided on that.
You know,
I don't think we ever did.
We have someone grabbed the single bed, by the way, Typhus. Just something to keep in mind. We have a roommate with us.
Oh, hi. What's your name?
She starts slowly picking up a great axe and just like holding it, and she goes, "You guys try and start a fight?"
No.
Ideally, no.
No, we're not the fighting type. We're lovers.
Yeah, look at us.
We're not really into that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of a platonic relationship. I'm not looking for anything serious, unless you want to fight, in which case I'm super down.
Oh. Well, Blair, I don't know about you, but
What?
I'm just saying. You guys remember yesterday? We were outside the club?
Yep.
Talking about killing this, killing that, fighting?
Yeah, that was mostly like, like the 1% kind of deal for me.
I feel you were kind of riled up too.
I was riled.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Whenever I meet a stranger who's willing to do violence with me, I don't think I've ever
Which is often.
Which is often. I have never been able to say no. And every single time, I don't regret it.
Typhus, it occurs to you that this halfling has pulled a sleight of hand and not actually told you her name.
Hey, wait a minute. I don't think you've actually told me your name.
You haven't told me your name.
My name's Typhus.
My name's
He's not lying.
Delren.
Delren.
Yeah, with a D.
Delren, what do you know about goblins?
Well, I know you're not supposed to look them in the eye, because then they start getting all skittery and hummingbird mode, and then they scream like your friends made them do. They're going to set everybody off, and then breakfast isn't going to be delicious.
Is the breakfast delicious if they're not startled?
Oh, yeah, the quality of the food goes way up depending on the calm abilities of the goblins.
Gentlemen, it appears Delren is a goblin expert.
I think you're right.
Well, I guess sort of on the relative sliding scale of all things, she's certainly passing me.
Delren, if
yeah.
you were to surmount an insurrection from within a building full of goblins, what would be the first step you would take?
I'd take out their legs.
Holy moly.
They can't run around if you chop them off at the kneecaps.
Oh my
Arnold
god.
pulls out a notebook and starts taking notes. Fascinating.
This also helps to have the element of surprise. For example, and she holds up her hand and out skitters from her sleeve a little mouse from all the way up here because she was wearing that sleeveless thing. It skitters all the way down her arm and lands in her hand.
Oh.
Squeakums here is really good at the element of surprise.
Oh, not Squeakums.
I'm gonna scurry down the bed. Delrin, what do you think we could do with this? And pull open my bag and show like loose gunpowder and bolts.
Probably a lot, but it might also involve our deaths, and I'm not too keen to lose my bones about it.
It's funny you bring that up. That is a pretty important part of criteria we're looking for, is to make sure that we don't die in the process of anything we're about to do. So,
Yeah, this
let
building
me
is-
tell you, it seems like that's around basically every corner, no matter what path I go down. Somebody wants us dead.
yeah.
Well, this building is definitely not up to code. I feel like sometimes if you sneeze wrong, it's just going to collapse down.
I heard that about all the brimstones in this area.
The brim is that like the brownstones, like brownstone buildings, but as brimstones?
Brimstones.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Yeah,
It's around the. Man, it must smell terrible, like anywhere those buildings are.
Reeks.
It's around this time that I think that you hear some clomping coming up the stairs, and at some point Derek like kind of appears in the doorway. He's wearing an apron that says "Kiss the Chef," and then underneath it says ... when it says twice with like a winky face right at the end. It's stained, smudged, like obviously gets used pretty often down in the kitchen. And he sort of cocks an eyebrow at everyone in here, and he says, "So, y'all coming to breakfast or?"
Oh, yes. And I've got some questions for you, actually, that I think will go lovely with a meal.
Then let's get downstairs. I could use a couple of hands actually with getting that meal done.
Derek,
Alright.
they look
We
the
have to
goblins in the
contribute.
eye. They set one off on a hummingbird mode.
Oh, I probably should have
Yeah.
explained that. Yeah, no, you don't really, unless you've earned their trust.
Right.
You cannot look a goblin in the eye because otherwise
So
they'll see too deeply into you.
Derek,
Yeah.
I have a question. How do you earn a goblin's trust?
Well, you start by coming downstairs and eating goddamn breakfast, y'all. I'm in the middle of cooking something. I don't want something to burn. Come on.
All right, Derek, all right.
Oh, Derek.
I'm gonna give him hash browns.
Everyone ends up going downstairs. Delren, are you just kind of following along with your roommates?
Yes.
And how long have you been here, Delren? Like, are you just stopping by for the night, or have you been by here before, staying here long?
Delren is a frequent flyer of this area, kind of going out and doing odd jobs and adventuring here and there. Never staying in
And-
one place too long.
Absolutely. So like you know a good like sort of way house whenever you find one, a place where you can just like stop in for the night, crash, and no one asks any questions coming in or out.
Yeah.
They see a familiar face, they might say hi, but very few people might even ask your name unless you offer it.
Yeah, they would know me on sight, but they have no idea what I'm called.
Wonderful. Well, as you all go downstairs, you see that all of the goblins have gathered together in like the little common room. They're all up on top of like the mantelpiece, a couple shelves on the wall, knocking a couple things down. And as they do, they kind of like cock their head at the side, look at each other, bonk their heads together. And they're all like kind of yapping together. But you see like in sort of the cluster that they make, waves of color are sort of rippling out from the sort of goblins closest to the center who are like bonking their heads together, and the goblins who are sort of surrounding on the outsides. Maybe a splash of blue that ripples out almost like a stone striking a pond, followed by verdant flashes of green and red as a couple of the goblins get more into whatever conversation they might be having, sort of like bickering almost, like little flashes of red amidst like the flowing tides. And Derek, is sort of busies himself in the kitchen. He's like mixing up some eggs. He looks over at Arnold and he's like, hey, can you do me a favor? I have a couple of of tubers over on the side. Could you mind just like cutting them up, getting them all good for a hash? And as he
Yeah,
like,
I can do that. Just like slices or cubes or.
whatever strikes your fancy. And then like is sort of dashing salt everywhere, putting a little garlic powder on a couple of things. A couple of the goblins start to hop up on the counter, and he like with one hand moving, like stirring something, picks the goblin up gently and sets it down, not looking it in the eye. It scurries off somewhere. And then Blair, as you're sort of just watching this happen, you feel something very, very hard and heavy basically hit you in the back of the kneecap and like buckle you down slightly.
I very carefully turn to look while like trying to keep my eyes like down and on top so they don't I don't go straight for eye contact.
Unfortunately, the goblin was already staring directly at you.
Oh.
And as soon as you turn, like no matter how careful you are, the goblin immediately locks eyes with you. But for a moment, there is a kind of silence. And Blair, you look into this goblin's eye, and instead of going down to a pinprick, it actually opens up to where it almost encapsulates the entirety of the eye socket for this goblin. And you just... Blair.
Yes, that's right.
And then it's going to flash up with the red, and his eye is going to go to pinpricks, and it's going to scamper off.
Okay.
And Derek just, that one must like you.
Oh, well, that's neat. Should I I had an idea. I want to run this over with you. Should I headbutt one? Is that a good idea? I've got the horns and all, so I feel like it could go all right for me.
Derek just sort of turns slightly and cocks an eyebrow at you, well, here's what I'll say. I have been accidentally the subject of one of the goblins' territorial disputes, and one trip from the emergency room later with a mild concussion would lead me to believe that you really shouldn't tempt them, because even if it's all in good fun, they pack more of a punch than you might think.
Okay. Look, that's why I wanted to run it by you first.
Yeah, and he says...
you should totally do it.
Derek glances over and goes, "Oh, you're back. It's been, a month or two, I think, since the last saw your face here. You're staying longer than usual."
Yeah, hey, Big D, how's it going? I'm just excited to be back. Got a couple of things cooking.
Little D, I do too, actually. So why don't you go ahead and everyone go ahead and set the tables, and he hands a couple of silverware rolls to Typhus, and Arnold, you've transferred the tubers over. Did you end up doing them slices or cubes?
I would have done cubes.
Cubes. Okay. I think that Derek looks over with a discerning look and ends up nodding oh yeah, that's what I would have done for sure. Yeah. And you guys get everything set up. You all sit down, and you're all sitting at this. It's almost cozy. For just a moment, it's almost Arnold and Blair you're back at the apartment having family brunch. Sylvia has scrambled eggs, but has 4 raw ones in front of her, and she's just putting one whole egg in her mouth and doing the snake thing to But everyone else's are scrambled, but there's this moment of connection of community here that everyone for the first time I feel can just breathe. And their safety, to a certain degree. And Derek's just kind of munching, thoughtfully eating. He says, "Oh, and I almost forgot my morning ritual." And he's going to get up from the table really quickly. He's going to go around. You hear some rummaging. You hear a couple of glass things clinking, and he comes back with a giant fucking gravity bong that he has filled the bowl to the top with spark leaf, and he's like, I used to not be into any of this stuff, but after I got done with the enforcement, the Imperial Enforcement Squad, it helps me get through the day. And he's going to take the biggest fucking rip. It's going to sound like the 4th of July, fireworks going off everywhere. There are sparks flying. All of the goblins at once turn to watch and like listen, and every single one of them starts to like spark their some of their scales as if they were little stars lighting up in the night.
What the hell, dude? It's like 9 a.m.
We're up.
What are you, a fucking enforcer?
No, I'm just saying, you
Are
sparkly.
you a fucking enforcer? She holds up her
I'm
great
not an
axe.
enforcer. Listen. I just think it's kind of crazy to spark leaf at 9 a.m. Like, you got a whole day ahead of you. Like, how are you going to get anything done?
Smoke it if you got it.
I think feeling good, Typhus. I think that's how he's going to get it done.
I'm with Typhus on this one. 9 a.m. is a little egregious. We haven't even gotten anything done yet. I feel like you're having a little treat before you've earned it.
Thank you. Dessert does not come first. Dessert comes after all the other.
Can I hit that?
Yeah, he's
Then
gonna like
again-
immediately just pass it off to the left.
He did make breakfast, so I guess that's kind of the, it's warranted, I
Isn't
suppose.
it?
He woke up earlier than we did. I suppose it makes sense.
Are they always this boring?
No, we got to stress for a few days.
I just feel like we've got a lot to do. We got a lot on the docket today. I don't want to say the E word out loud, but I think we all know what I'm thinking.
Really shouldn't.
I think
Yeah,
we
let's
all
not-
know what I'm thinking when I say the E word.
Yeah, we
Blair.
hear you loud and clear, Typhus. Maybe
Okay.
let's hold off on the E word at B breakfast,
Derek is just like, again, he's taking his moment. He's having his ritual. He takes another huge rip after Blair passes it back. And then he just, for a moment, again, just like that serene feeling of safety is there. And then Derek's eyes open, and due to the, as we all know with Sparkleaf, it causes all of the veins, like all the redness in your eye, to go completely white. Right, like no redness, no blood or anything like that. The opposite of a bloodshot eye, as we all know, right?
We all
with
know that.
exceedingly
Naturally.
clear eyes, Derek looks straight at Typhus and says, "What E word are you referring to?"
Enforcement is what he meant. We didn't realize you were used to be enforcement, Derek. We didn't know you were a retired Imperial enforcement.
Can I,
That was the E word.
insight check that guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
allowed?
Who are you insight
Come on,
checking?
Delrin. Come on. You don't believe
Arnold.
this trustable mug?
Arnold. Okay, Arnold, give me it'll be a contested deception versus a wisdom save from you, Delrin.
And I have to move my pork chop out of the way. I've been hiding it. It's not bad. That's a 17 on the dice.
A
And
17?
I got 14.
A 14. Okay, yeah. So, Delrin, you there's something about like the fact, like, Derek said, he mentioned in the enforcers, Arnold mentioned the enforcers, and like there's definitely, it seems almost too easy to pick up on as an E word, but like at the same time, you don't know these people, it could be anything. They're acting weird, maybe better just like send them on
So
their way
weird.
sooner rather than later. Yeah, they are
Yeah.
too. And about to say, you share a meaningful glance with Derek too. Derek kind of looks at you with those all too clear eyes that if you look for a little bit too long, you can imagine that you see almost like flames burning behind them, but then they're gone just as quickly as they appear. And Derek goes, well, as long as none of that enforcement business that you've got going on comes back on me nor any of the other denizens of this place. We are all sovereign in our corporeal rights, obviously, and I would imagine that no enforcement would ever take that away from us. Isn't that right?
That's totally right. Are you a sovereign citizen, Derek Stormfighter?
No. But
Oh.
Interesting.
I call this place Neo Goblonia.
Mhm.
Neo Goblonia is a location, but it evokes, of course, the image of New Goblonia, which was a location before this location. This one, though, Neo Goblonia, New Goblonia, lost to time. No one knows where that guy came from, but it has been passed down from Goblinspeak from generations ago to now. They tell the story of New Goblonia, and even the sage, I think on the one time that I've heard him speak, also muttered of Goblonia and of the duty that all goblins have to it. Yes, yeah.
Guys, I think this is a lot of Goblindegook. I mean, I think Big D is a flat planer.
I think you're right.
Guys,
Did you mean to say? Did you mean to say Goblindegook, or did you?
we gotta get out. We gotta do the E word quick.
I don't know if I'm up for that right now, Typhus.
Blair,
It feels like it feels like being somebody's dog, and I don't want to be anybody's dog right now.
and I'm gonna
Not
lead in
after last night.
to the gang. Guys, I just feel like yesterday we were all on the same page, and today I feel like I'm the only one who wants to either kill or evict all of these goblins.
If I'm being
Delrin, please give me a perception check.
Yeah. I'm perceiving the crap out of you. Not really. I got a 7.
You know that they
Hash
just
browns are
said
just
whatever
so good.
the E word is, but you don't know what that E word was. You just missed it. And Derek continues after a certain point, after again letting it be like a sort of pregnant silence. You know what I mean? Like full of meaning. The threat lingers in the air. And Typhus, he looks over you as you say the dreaded E word, and you can't tell because those eyes are just a little too clear and unblinking whether or not he knows what you were meaning. A little bit unreadable. But after a time, he continues with, "You mentioned the enforcers. I simply must know. In all jests and in all honesty, and I will not kick you out and I will not harm you. It is not within my nature to do. Are you with the city?"
Oh, no. We're actually kind of, I don't want to say criminals, but we're certainly not favorably looked upon by any sort of government official or anyone tied to the city or anyone from the offices of Mr. Grueyere for that matter.
We've been arrested twice in 2 days.
Yeah. Honestly,
Impressive.
I'd be surprised if we weren't arrested by lunch at this point.
Yep, that would seem on par.
Derek is watching again with like those unblinking eyes, and he turns back towards Typhus. "And you seem very much like you have a story to tell. Why don't you tell me how you came to the footsteps of Neo Goblonia?"
Praying.
My friends and I were told by a tall man to go down to where it's all goblin and have a nice time.
Give me a deception check, Typhus. I had to let it sit for a second to see how Derek would have felt, but he's looking daggers through you right now, straight through your being.
All right, that's a natural 3, actual 2. Sorry, natural 4, actual 2.
Oh, okay. Got to make sure that the record's straight.
Even worse somehow.
He's a talker, he is.
So again, Derek's eyes look right through you, Typhus, into your very being, and you know that he is seeing whether it's an aura or an energy or the soul itself. He's seeing what makes you, and the clock, the gears are turning, your clock is ticking, and he knows exactly how all of the mechanisms fit together. And then he looks away and continues to eat.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I was so close to spilling the whole beans there. You guys have no idea how close. If he didn't look away there, it would all be completely on the table.
Yeah, that would have been unpleasant, to say the least.
I think you guys are all talking.
I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like my life's out of control.
Yeah, I feel like we've been turned into weapons for the state.
Wait, are you guys saying you guys don't want to go through with this?
I can be completely honest. I feel like they're lowballing us way big. We could even get someone to. My neighbor moves boxes for 5 times what we're getting paid for this, and this is way harder.
5 doubloons is more than I've ever seen in my whole life. All right. So first off, we're not getting lowballed. All right, we're gonna be rich.
Let's not base the standard of how much we get paid on how much wealth you've seen in your entire life. Typhus, I hate to say this, I think you've been impoverished for a long time, and you don't understand what a fair wage is.
Really, you know how I feel about that
I'm not
word.
trying to come off a certain kind of way, but just based on the...
You know how I feel about that word, and you would still say it to me?
I didn't mean that you're coming off as that kind of way. I'm not saying at all that you are that.
What? Poor? That's
not what I said. You're putting words in my mouth, Typhus. Come on, man.
Oh, no, it's not.
Delrin, you're hearing all
like
of this.
super poor. Like, it's just a look to you. You got that look in your eyes that's been like, I've been poor, and I'll be poor again because I make bad life choices.
That's it. I'm looking for the eviction notice in my bag. I know I don't have it.
No. Typhus, please. Typhus, wait.
Where is it?
I think...
Yeah, I'll say as Typhus is pulling it out. It's covered in gunpowder.
I think maybe we should just reconsider all of the, stuff they asked us for. Mr. Grueyere hasn't cut us a good deal, and I feel like he's cutting us an even worse deal to do this. And I feel like maybe we've been put on this path to find an alternative route that might help us achieve some other goals. Maybe. Depending on how like-minded other individuals in Neo Goblonia might be. Like...
Typhus, give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh.
Come on. You know I'm good for it. Let's see. 7.
A goblin very quickly runs up behind you and snatches the eviction notice. And as it runs past, Derek just very fluid motion just reaches down and grabs it from the plate sort of overhangs where the actual mouth is on the goblin. So you can just kind of really quickly, if you're fast enough, you can snatch basically anything from their mouths. And he looks at it for an uncomfortably long time, seeming to read every single word, seeming to notice every single brushstroke, unblinking eyes scanning over the entire document.
My fork down. I think I'm done eating now.
I'll push my plate away, yeah.
Derek is going to set the paper down and then stand up. And it's about this time again. It's like whenever Derek stands up to his full height, this is a 6'3", obviously, even though he hasn't been in the service for a while, he still takes care of himself to the best of his ability, a little bit of that of the dad bod going on, he enjoys himself pretty well. But whenever he stands up to his full height, you get a glimpse of the soldier, the enforcer that used to be Derek Stormfighter. And for a moment, it's like that chill kind of hits everybody the same of this is an individual who has killed before and, very easily could kill again. But instead, he simply says, "Come with me."
Okay.
Fair enough.
Derek, and Moshe is also for Delrin to join. Delrin, please, I have not shown you this yet, but I feel like now is a good time. The harmonies of the plains, I think, are calling me to something greater. And he continues to move off towards the door, so the door that was closed in the kind of common area, just off from where the rest of the goblins are. Derek walks to that door and motions for everyone to be quiet, and even the goblins, all with their consistent and their goblin talk, go silent. All of their scales dropping down to become completely clear, revealing that. It has a nice, kind of powdery gray underskin for all the goblins that you can only see whenever it's not displaying its colors. And all of them seem to go completely silent and almost like a reverence. this building, since you've woken up this morning, has not been quiet for like a single millisecond because of these little dudes. But they all, for one, like at once, silence the moment that Derek touches the door. And then very slowly, Derek opens it to find a room that has east-west facing windows and a single cushion on the ground, upon which rests what appears to be an impossibly old goblin. Like, goblins usually live, like, depending on where they're from and like the sort of subspecies of goblins, they can live anywhere from like 20 to 40 years. But as they do, their scales start to fall out just naturally. You know, it starts to look a little raggedy. This is a goblin that only has one scale left, right in the middle of its forehead, and it pulses with a steady light of a color that you can't quite name, but feels safe. A kind of clear, almost blue, but no description of color can quite capture, because it's almost clear, but not quite. There's something there. And it slowly pulses in and out of this ancient goblin sitting in the middle of this room.
I've never seen anything so old like that.
I was wondering what he meant by sage.
It's probably this old little goblin right here.
Boomer
Also,
goblin.
does that color taste like root beer to you guys, or am I looking at it wrong?
It tastes like root beer to me.
It's like root beer.
Transparent fuchsia with a mix of, again, by making my brain hurt a little.
You're right on the money, Arnold. That's Barks.
Yeah. From here on, we'll call it Barks color. Everybody agree?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Delrin, it occurs to you that they are right. This is actually like, and Derek talks about the sage like almost flippantly, but with like a clear reverence. But never, like, always tells everyone to come in, not to go into the room that he just opened. And the fact that he's inviting you to come look too, there is an element of like ritual and reverence to it, that even though Blair, Arnold, and Typhus don't really tap into that same reverence, the weight of something very important is going on in this room kind of settles on everybody relatively equally. And Derek is quiet. Again, sort of thoughtful. The goblin sage's eyes are completely dilated to the point where it even seems to extend over the boundaries of its iris. Like the entirety of its globes are completely dark and fathomless as this small light begins to pulse a little bit faster upon your entering. The goblin sage doesn't blink. The goblin sage doesn't acknowledge. The goblin sage sits perfectly still in the middle of this room with that slightly pulsing light. From behind Typhus, you sort of glance behind you, and all of the other goblins have that same scale also glowing and pulsing in that same rhythm.
Yo, guys, they're all doing it.
Mr. Stormfighter, I imagine this is probably the true target of the eviction notice?
This here, what you are looking at, is the single most important thing that has ever and perhaps will ever happen. You are looking at what it takes to maintain Goblonia. And he sort of like, again, looks at this goblin sage and just like with an extreme reverence. And then walks out of the room and beckons everyone to follow.
Oh, okay.
Yo, guys, I think that was the giver.
Bye.
Yeah.
Goblins are like a hive mind.
It seems like that's the sort of like network node of all the goblins.
Yeah.
The ancient one.
AI.
No,
What?
I what? No.
Typhus, were we looking at the same thing?
Yeah. What's it called? The big center where they do it's costs a lot of water. I know that. They really,
Mr. Grueyere's house?
That goblin is so
talking about
small, he
Grueyere
wouldn't
data
drink that
center?
much water.
I think he could drink a lot of water. I think if you fed a tube to him, he'd be drinking water all day long. It'd be a
Don't fill
problem.
up, but we could get him a glass of water.
That is the driest looking goblin I've ever seen. There's no way that thing's drinking water.
Dude, I'll tell you
he's
what,
like absorbing it through his skin like osmosis.
water or not. Did you see the rest of the goblins? They're all like,
Yeah, they were doing the same thing.
They were
It
doing
was
the same
kinda
thing.
weird.
You know, it's like hierarchies exist in nature, right? And it's sort of like a natural societies that some creatures form, like ants, right? Like ants. So this is kind of like an ant deal, I think.
It's the queen of the
he
ants.
also didn't give back the eviction notice, so I don't think we can evict him now.
Well, we tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, Delrin, you are now hearing plainly that they're just talking about eviction. I don't know if you saw the notice as Derek took it, as the goblin took it from Typhus and brought it to Derek, but it is clear now that these 3 people were sent here to clear everyone out of this place.
Yeah. She's pulling out her great axe and just holding it up in a really like menacing way. So
Don't throw
you
your back
guys
out.
do work for the city. You're a couple of
Oh.
narcs. You coming down here
No.
trying to evict
No.
nice people, bunch
Whoa.
of weird ass goblins. You trying to enforce your
Whoa.
ideals
No,
and your
don't.
unnecessary cleanliness upon
Now
these
we don't work in the city.
people?
We're paralegals. We work for a lawyer.
It's contract work that we were strong-armed into doing to lighten our sentence.
Lady, I'm in a hoodie and my boxers. Does it look like I'm really on the job right now?
I don't know. Servants of the devil have really sweet tongues.
So he is
All
the
right.
devil.
I am a tiefling. You can't talk to me that way.
Oh, were you talking about Blair? That's not cool.
Oh, yeah, that's a faux pas. You can't
I'm
call
talking about
Blair
lawyers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
that's fine.
yeah. Well, actually, that's actually spot on. Actually, so
Uh,
How could that possibly help lessen your sentence? And why would you agree to ruining a bunch of people's lives
That's
just
why
for a
I was-
reduced sentence?
That's why I was so hesitant to do it. We were just kind of forced, and I was trying to talk to Typhus. Maybe, we should reconsider because they're
forced.
pushing us into doing a lot of tough stuff that doesn't really seem it's worth it.
a lot of money on the line, actually. So actually, there's
Oh yeah.
10 doubloons.
Says the poor man, $3 could get you. If I give you $4, can I get you to go like fuck a dude in the ass with a stick? Probably.
Hey,
Yeah.
Delrin,
Probably.
I know you're tough and you have a cavalier attitude. You don't talk to Typhus like that. Typhus has lived a long life living with symptoms similar to impoverishedness. And don't you dare call our friend poor. That's rude. I will fuck you up if you call Typhus poor again.
holy cow!
Bring it on, dude. You're here trying to ruin people's lives. I've seen enough in my life. I've been around, and it's always the people in power using the guys who are lower than them, being forced to do the devil's work, but it's just an excuse for not having your own goddamn backbone.
I'm gonna go
Push
see
that
if Derek's got
responsibility
any
off
more
on other
sparkly.
people.
Arnold, I want you to put down in your bonds overly protective of Typhus. I think that that's developed. Yeah, Delrin, you and Arnold are like, kind of well, Arnold, how tall are you? You're like 6 foot something, right? Or like
I'm like 6 foot flat.
okay.
Amazing.
Maybe
I'm
5'11"
3 feet tall.
Yeah. So, but Arnold, you and Delrin are staring daggers across that height difference, and Typhus, even shorter, or a little bit taller than Delrin, is like stuck in the middle, just moping, or maybe like you moved off to a corner somewhere, like just not having a good time. Blair, you step away. Derek is sitting at the table, and he's sort of like thumbing the eviction notice. Arnold and Delrin are going to work this out, sort of off to the side for a moment. Blair, you sit down with Derek, and Derek, is rolling another joint of spark leaf, and lights it with a match. Makes a couple of fireworks go, a nice crackle of it, and he hands it to you, and he. Moments pass, a couple of puffs pass between y'all, and eventually he says, You seem a little bit more spiritually in touch than the others.
I don't, Arnold and I, we're part of an artists collective. We're artists first and foremost. We just kind of have our balls in a vice at the moment by the guy who wanted us to hand you that piece of paper. I saw some things yesterday that have sort of made me feel a little more apprehensive about kind of working for somebody with that level of wealth and power. To tread on somebody doesn't really necessarily exist in that same system or play by those rules. Does this piece of paper like that even mean anything to you?
You know, I asked myself many questions about whenever I was enlisted, whenever I got those summons, whether or not that piece of paper truly meant that I had to suffer in the ways that I did. But and forgive me, I know your name is Blair. I overheard it from your friends. Blair,
Yeah.
would you like to know about Goblonia?
It sounds interesting.
Tell me, Blair, what do you feel when you interface with your portal, with your data slab? Do you have one on you?
Yeah, of course. I got it by here in my front hoodie pocket.
Whenever you look through the portal into the data plane, what do you feel?
I'm worried this answer is going to disappoint you, but not much. It's never really been something that got me. A lot of people I know, they spend a lot more time on this thing than I do, and a lot of the more popular ways to interface with it have never really caught on with me, although I do like reading on it. It's just.
Do you know how it works?
I think, it's in the name, right? It's a portal to a sort of a pure dimension of data. I know like those are the words and in that order, but I don't necessarily understand what that means.
So imagine, if you will, a reality, a plane, an entire existence that is simply information that exists at all times about everything from the smallest to the greatest, infinities within as infinities without. How would one even begin to process that level of information, much less seek out things that are specific for that person? Have you ever thought about that?
Not really. I just kind of assumed there was just like a quasi search engine functionality going on there.
And Derek sort of like chuckles and says, whenever it's just funny for me because I grew up without this technology and it got introduced later on, but you lose so much of foundational knowledge. The way that the portal connects you to the data plane is by tapping into your psychic energies and the ripples that your spirit manifests as you exist, as you're conscious and see things. The various emotional and chemical impulses that we give off, the very same thing, in fact, that causes the goblins to shift color. We just happen to have no such expressive mechanism. These things, these psychic pulses, the portal reaches out through your experience of it and plays your mind in those psychic resonances until your brain interprets the information that the mainframe wants you, that the mainframe can interpret that you want to look at and serves it to you. Does that make sense? So let's say you open up your portal and you're thinking about the news. Well, the mainframe taps into your psychic resonance and feeds and plays the chemicals in your brains until you, staring into the portal, see the news.
Is that why it always starts with a picture of my ex-girlfriend?
Probably. I don't. Do you have a bad experience, like a relation? Like, What happened? Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. Sorry. Let's just get back on topic. My bad. I thought you would know. I don't know why I thought you would know. I'm sorry.
Let's flash over to Delrin, Arnold, and Typhus real quick. Y'all are sort of on the fringe of whatever conversation Blair and Derek are having in the other room, sort of smoking on their spark leaf. Tensions were high the last time that we left off. Typhus, you are sort of moping off to the side from Delrin and Arnold, who are arguing. What's going through your head, Typhus?
Maybe it's wrong to evict other poor people. I've been evicted so many times. Maybe I just wanted to feel what it was, like to be. I don't know. Maybe I want to be rich really bad. Maybe I want to punch down on poor people, or maybe I just want to help them. I don't know. I just don't want to be poor anymore. This shit sucks so much. Oh man.
Arnold, Delrin, where are y'all at in y'all's the spat you've been having?
Wheezing my fork, just kind of staring at Delrin. I'm more frustrated that Arnold is frustrated because he teetered pretty close to upsetting Typhus with the impoverished comment, and then Delrin decided to cross the line, and he's more mad because he feels like she knew and chose to cross it anyways. And he's just like, what gives you the nerve?
And Delrin, where are you coming at this from?
So Delrin has been poor for most of her life, and that's half the reason she's like a wandering soul, just doing odd jobs, and is just deeply offended at the hypocrisy of being poor and serving rich people to punch down on their fellow poor people. So it just triggered something emotionally deep within her.
Yeah, I think once things like simmer down a little bit, a quiet kind of falls, and y'all are in the common room just outside of where the Goblin Sage was still, and you see like once the big emotions got out there, and everyone has a second to breathe. All of the goblins are glowing like vibrant, angry red, like all locked on to this argument that's going on, except for one, which is two actually. One's closer to Blair, the same one before that was sort of eyeing him up, and there's one now that is also looking at Typhus and is a very, very deep ocean blue, the color of salt tears falling into salt water, and its pupils sort of like pulse as it tries to take in Typhus and respond to the psychic energy that Typhus is giving off with his emotions. It seems as though the goblin is very keen on picking up on that from him right now.
All right, I'm gonna stop yelling at you because the goblins are pissed. So we gotta bring it down.
Chill. I'll be chill. If you're gonna be chill, I'll be chill. Let's just
I'll be
not
chill.
yell anymore.
Chill
I'm
if you're
being
chill.
chill.
I'm super chill right now.
I'm being chill. You seem like you're not being as chill as I am. I'm being very
way
chill.
more chill than you. I'm an ice cube in the Arctic during winter.
Arnold?
What's up, Typhus?
Right.
What?
Delrin's right. I am poor.
You are poor, Typhus. But
poor.
People don't have to tell you that.
I'm poor and I'm proud.
That's excellent, man.
I'm poor and I'm proud, and Delrin helped me realize that.
This is
It's
big
okay
for
to
you,
be poor.
man.
It's been a monumental morning. This is insane.
It's okay to be poor.
It's okay.
Derek pauses mid stride in his conversation with Blair and kind of turns and motions everybody to now that y'all are now that things have settled over there, come join in on this, what we're talking about here. And you come in at sort of the tail end of him explaining the way that portals tap into psychic resonances just naturally within people's conscious experience and deliver to you the specified images that your brain is basically craving. And Derek looks at your the data slab that you have out in your hand, Blair, in the sort of the portal that it is showing to you something different than it would show to anyone else. All portals key into whoever is witnessing it. It's something about the conscious looking of it that evokes the images from it. And for a moment, you wonder, what does Derek see whenever he looks into one? And again, for just that brief moment, somewhere behind his eyes, there's the spark of fire that just dies as soon as it appears, as Derek sort of settles back a little bit. So my question became, how do I protect myself, my experience? If there's something out there that is intuiting what I could possibly want to see at any given time, then where am I? What am I? Where do I take solace? Where can I rest? And I had no answer for it. Being shunned away from the enforcers after doing my duty, and then finding myself suddenly without so much of any compensation for what I gave for this city, I realized the only way to protect myself was to find some way to throw up something in between the portal and myself, to stop the data plane from encroaching onto the material. And then I heard in this house that I thought was abandoned, except for minor skittering here and there, I heard a steady, what sounded like almost a chant. And I opened that same door over there, and I saw the goblin sage. And for the only time, and this was 20 some odd years ago, probably at this point, I heard it say,
Goblonia, don't you want to come to Goblonia? Goblonia, we have got a lot of places you can say. It's Goblonia.
And I knew. I knew in that instant. I looked at the sage, and I realized exactly what that sage was doing. That goblin has sat there for untold decades, projecting from its mind, because people like to think that goblins are simple creatures. Such a demeaning word, simple. There's an elegance to the fact that goblins perceive and then immediately respond. There is no contemplation that occurs between the senses and the being. The experience itself is almost instantaneous. And so if that goblin is in there, and all that goblin does is consider something like Goblonia, it creates almost a bulwark in the mind. If we all spent some portion of our background energy thinking about a world that is full of equity and justice and an order to things that make sense, perhaps if we all tap into some sort of, almost like a psychic city-state, I guess you could say. Perhaps we could all be sovereign citizens of Goblonia, and with a shield up of these pure thoughts of sending great vibes out into the psychic sphere. Perhaps, if we all are citizens of Goblonia, even something physical like the city couldn't stand. Because what could be a greater joy than to be a part of something good? And so I dedicate, though it is not nearly to the level of dedication that the sage can, I put aside a portion of all of my conscious thoughts into thinking about Goblonia, and how if we were all citizens of Goblonia, we wouldn't need enforcers and money and wealth, and the ideas of rich and poor fade away into only Goblonia.
We're gonna
Arnold
kill the cheese
scratches
guy,
out.
right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes, we are.
We're gonna
Yo?
kill.
Oh,
We're
shit.
gonna kill Grueyere.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of the point we kind of left off yesterday, was not so much that evicting someone isn't okay, but that we need to do something to the 1%. And I feel like the person who's been most adversarial to us so far is the guy who may or may not be our defense attorney.
Are you saying that billionaire lawyer, Mr. Grueyere,
TV show host,
billboard owner, bus advertiser, you're saying that we are going to forcibly redistribute his wealth?
With force.
I've just had an aha moment.
Okay.
Mr. Grueyere, he's a lawyer, receives a lot of legal papers every day, packages all in and out, that sort of stuff, right?
I think I know where you're going with this, but keep going. Yeah, what do you keep going, Blair?
We have a diminutive bomber in our midst. We have an eviction notice that shows us exactly what his legal letterhead looks like. And if we put our heads together, we can probably remember the goddamn envelope it came in. Should we just send him a bomb?
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say we should evict Mr. Grueyere.
No.
The bomb is a way better idea.
From this life.
Guys, I would love to, but I cannot copy the GOAT, man. The Unabomber, if you know him, he simply was. I could not. I could not.
But why not? Isn't wearing your influences on your sleeves some of the best things we can do to grow as artists, as creators?
Do you want me to sing? Do you want me to write Thriller? Do you want me to paint the Blue Man? I simply could not.
Yeah, but isn't all art just like recycled? There are no new ideas, just like new ways of doing it.
That's certainly, you could make the.
Yeah.
Also,
Derek snapped back for a second. He said, "Did you just say you were going to bomb someone?"
Yeah, look, I'm feeling fired up. I've discovered the rowdy part of myself again, and I kind of want to send a bomb to a really rich guy.
I think this is just
Big D. That's what you were saying.
Look, if nobody else thinks it's a good idea, I can back down, but just feels like...
I think you're onto something. The same way that Derek and that goblin think about Goblonia, if we think about sending a bomb to Mr. Grueyere, we might...
That's what
we might get around to it.
That's exactly what Big D was saying.
No, I think Big D was preaching about manifesting the better world. I got that. You know what? I was hung up on his Goblinspeak because I can't understand what the hell he's saying when he does that voice. And quite frankly, it might be offensive. I don't even know if it's or not.
I was under the impression it was a second language. And can I be honest? I lead towards Typhus and Blair. Sorry, Delrin, just one sec. I hate these goblins. I freaking hate these goblins. They remind me of birds, and they're making me upset. Okay?
I like them, It's just, they're like, we don't get any animals in the city that aren't, like bullshit made of,
and this is why. Clockwork. This is why.
And like,
I think someone in charge of making the clockwork animals saw that these guys were walking around and said, "Oh, how unpleasant to look at."
Well, I'm going to make a bomb to that guy too. I'm
not mad about the clockwork birds. I suppose.
And I'm going to put my hand on Arnold's knee. I'm going to say, Arnold,
yeah,
you had my back. It's time for me to get yours. These goblins, they ain't so bad. Look at that goblin over there. He's the color of opal. He's blue. He's bright blue. That goblin's basically my best friend now. I couldn't bomb all these goblins.
You suddenly, Blair, you were listening to Arnold, you're listening to Typhus, you like glance over. Derek is just like very thoughtfully, like just kind of like listening to everyone. Like he hasn't said anything. He hasn't even made like he looks like he is currently in the city state of Goblonia. Like he's not tapped in. But Blair, you hear a donk and another one donk, a pretty rhythm donk like at the front door. And everyone else is just sort of talking. It just you just happen to hear it over the cacophony of everything else, and then you hear a couple of goblins also like pick up on it and donk, and every time that they do, they sort of flash a silver.
I may be misinterpreting this, but I think there's another goblin here. Hold on.
Another goblin? I thought all the goblins.
I'm gonna step out front real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get closer to the front door, and that's where the sound's coming from. It's just a donk, it's not like someone knocking. It's like almost like something running into the door.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna open the door, like undo the locks, and I'm just gonna open the door a little bit to like poke my head out and be like, yes.
Yeah, you see a little clockwork bunny there. It looks like somewhere along its little path it was hopping. Now it's just hopping into the door. It's like it's only made to like move in one direction. So like it along its path is hopped up. You can see it's like footsteps leading off into the distance. Down the road, like through the yard, and it bonk, and then you don't have the door open enough to where like it can really get in. So it bonks again. And just kind of keeps running into the door like that. You can see like the little key in the back, like is kind of going. It's on its little track. It's unwinding.
I'm still in control of myself. I have not descended wholly into violence. I will not kick this clockwork rabbit. I will grab it.
You can see that the key is starting to go slower and slower. It's getting to the end of its winding. And the rabbit jumps up one more time and hits and then lands. And then suddenly its normally, black, lifeless lens eyes suddenly glow a bright red. And then I need you to roll me a sleight of hand check because this is a demonic rabbit bomb that's about to go off.
Oh, somebody was listening to me.
Oh, no.
Sleight of hand, and that's Dex. No modifier for Dex. 16.
All right, you are going to take 4 points of force damage as the bunny
Yikes.
explodes, blowing the door off its hinges. It explodes with it's not like a massive explosion. It's not like plastic explosives or anything. It's enough to like pop the door open and blow you back a couple feet, Blair. The goblin who was sort of like making the knocking noise makes a one last crack before it gets blown backwards. It hits against the wall. It stops moving. All of its color drains out of its scales, and every single one of the other goblins looks over, and all of their scales start to rattle, making this like cacophony as if like hundreds of tambourines were going at once. And then suddenly from the back door, tonk, tonk, from the walls, tonk, tonk, at a window, tink, tink.
Did we all hear the explosion?
Yes.
Oh!
Hummingbird.
no.
No. Like that was an explosion. And as much as I want to like get into this small encounter real quick, I would like to go ahead and use this moment to take a 5. Just to let everyone at home and everyone here take just a little bit of time, refresh yourself, get some water. We will be right back for the final rules, chaos. Yippee. Hello, everybody. We are back. And yet again, Zach, every single time, like it scares me just a little bit.
My bad.
No, it's good. So we are returned, knocking from all around the house. If anybody wants to try to hit me with a straight up perception check to see if you can discern how many different areas around the house perhaps that you might be under siege from.
Yeah, an 18.
An 18? Okay, yeah. So, Delrin, you have been in here long enough. You kind of get the acoustics. It seems that in addition to the one that was at the front door, there are, we have what sounds like one at a back door. It seems like one is jumping very high to tap on a window that is in the common room where all the rest of the goblins are going. And we have 2 more that, Derek has already looked out of the window upon hearing the explosion and sees that there are a couple on that side of the house too. So there was 1 up front. There is 1 in the common room. There is 1 out back and 2 on the side. So we are dealing with, 4 of them still? You don't know how long you have. You don't know when they're going to go off. Blair, you are concussed slightly. So I need you to make an initiative check with disadvantage. Everyone else, please go ahead and make an initiative check for me. This is not going to be formal combat. This is going to be more like a timed puzzle solving, shall we say?
Oh, not good for gloves. I don't know why I call them gloves. For Arnold.
Okay, so 19 Typhus, I heard.
Yes.
School.
5 for Arnold. Okay.
5 for Arnold. Yeah, well, let me scroll. There we go.
I'm trying to watch, Emily, what you were doing with your hands. I didn't quite get it.
I was like, sorry, I'm 5 plus 10, 15.
15. Okay. So, and Blair?
11.
11. So it's going to go Typhus, Delrin, Blair, Arnold, correct? And we'll just put Derek in about halfway there too. So Typhus, immediately you hear the explosion go off, you hear the door fly open, you see Blair get like thrown backwards from the entranceway. And immediately, Typhus, you sniff the air. Just what is that? That's saltpeter. Not just saltpeter, that's, my God, that's gunpowder. Somebody just set off a bomb, Typhus. And it wasn't you.
What the hell?
But you see Delrin also like glancing around at the like basically all around you hear these thumpings or these tickings from things hitting the window and the wall. Typhus, what do you do? What's going through your mind right now after having these multiple like everything just seemed to happen all at once?
I'm got my concealed carry, and I'm about to peer through the front door and start blasting in a second here. I'm about to put the neighborhood on alert.
Blair, from the ground, you like glance upwards and you see Typhus like strolling over. Typhus, what are you wearing, Typhus?
So I got like rags, like all the way down. It's kind of like, you know, like an old timey conductor who has like the tails. It's like one of those pure rags all the way down, little undergarment, and just a satchel on the side.
Where are you pulling the your flintlock from?
It was from the inside breast right here pocket.
Blair, Arnold, were you aware that Typhus was carrying?
I'm pretty sure that's mine.
I don't know how you got that out of the precinct.
And Delrin, you also see that the kobold is walking towards the front door, pulling a pistol out from somewhere that you aren't entirely sure where he managed to hide it. But
she's
Typhus,
impressed.
you walk out the front door, Typhus. Immediately outside, you see the smoking remains and small bits of like brass shrapnel from where the small clockwork rabbit exploded right at the front door.
Do I see any of them clockwork fellas?
You do not see any more on this side of the house, no. But if you glance out over the distance a little bit, give me an investigation check. Let's see what you can come up with just based off of what you see from this explosion.
Oh, I'd be searching. 14.
14. Typhus, you upon looking at these rabbits and just based off of like what you remember, you're full in artificer mode right now. Like you're thinking about machinations, you're thinking about the blast radius of this thing. You're looking at the way that the blast, like the remainder of the ignitable material like left its image on the ground, and you very quickly determine that if every single one of these were to go off, it would cause enough structural damage to make this place virtually uninhabitable, but not much more than that, unless somebody's standing directly near the blast. And also, you can tell that it went off, it would appear, just based off of the key that's got flung off to the side, embedded maybe into the door frame, that these are wind-up explosives. So whenever the key, or whenever it's fully unwound, is whenever it goes off.
I'm gonna turn around and look towards the gang. It's a controlled demolition.
They're evicting us by force.
They're evicting the entire building.
Should I put my pants on?
Did you still put your pants on yet?
We don't have time.
It was breakfast. And now there's bombs.
Blair, you've been up and wearing your pants this whole time?
No,
Blair
I'm just
never
wearing
wears
a hoodie and boxes.
Never wears his pants for breakfast. It's just kind of a thing he does.
Guys, there's wind-up bombs all around the building. We gotta get everybody out of here. Oh, we gotta get the giver goblin out of here.
Derek immediately like springs up and is like, "You can't move him. Any lapse in his concentration might bring all of Goblonia down. And then nothing's going to be stopping the mainframe from completely overloading the psychic barrier that he's putting up."
Okay.
If they're wind up arms, can't we just wind them the opposite direction?
No,
Yeah,
you want to wind up the same direction. They well, you don't want to go the way they tick, but yeah. You want to wind them up like normally.
Yeah, Typhus,
And
you also see that
dude-
there are a couple of clockwork ravens beginning to perch on the roof too. 2 of them.
All right. That's it. I'm taking a shot. Clockwork Raven. I'm popping
Okay,
one.
go ahead. Roll to hit. The DC is going to be a 10.
Right. That is an 11.
All right. You go ahead and roll damage for me.
That is a big 6.
A big 6. So Typhus, you again, whenever like you're looking at something like an explosion, for instance, or a bomb that you're making, or even any of the small like toys you used to make whenever you were younger, you get a sense for where all of the like how everything must fit together. Like there's a sort of something almost cosmic in your brain that fits together whenever you're looking at machinery, and you're able to take a pretty accurate shot, and you manage to clip the raven directly through its lenses up top, and immediately you can hear it zzz as it short circuits and it starts to tumble down, but right before it gets to the edge of the roof, it detonates. Like regardless of your shot, and blows a hole slightly off from where it was supposed to, so it mostly just like removed a gutter off the side of the building.
Huh.
Delrin, you heard a gunshot from Typhus up front and an explosion on the roof.
We're not trying to speed up the process here.
We gotta do. I gotta shoot something.
You can't put a firearm in Typhus's hands and expect him not to discharge it.
I'm honestly blown away we never clocked the gun.
Yeah, literally nobody put it in his hand except himself. So I feel like you guys should strip search your friend better.
Well, we know now, and now we can.
Strip search?
How
Yeah,
often
we're not
do you
gonna-
strip search your feet? You know what? We have more important things.
Yep. After this,
Derek is moving towards now the back of the house. Delrin, you're still in the kitchen at the table. You and Arnold are standing at this point. You have what it sounds like 2 thumps coming from your side of the house where you are currently.
Okay, I want to go for the closest thump.
How are you getting outside?
What is the closest thump to me? Is it just like
so-
against the wall?
Yeah, there's one against the wall and one against a window. You can
Okay,
kind
I'm
of
gonna
see whatever's
exit out the window.
okay. You open the window up and you can see a clockwork raven starting to head right towards you.
Now I want to hold up my axe and bash it.
And bash
the
it? Okay.
flat, yeah, with the flat side of the axe.
Gotcha. So kind of seeing if you can like really wind up and like pitch it a bit away.
Yeah, like a hammer situation, but it's an axe.
Got it. Go ahead and roll to hit. Same thing. DC is going to be 10.
Fantastic. 9 plus 4 is 13.
That hits. Please roll damage.
Yay. Do I still get the full damage even though I turn the axe sideways?
Yes.
Okay, sick. That's going to be a d12. 11.
That you are going to not just hit it away, but you're going to hit it away just far enough to where whenever the wind up key finally unwinds all the way, the bird detonates about 5 feet away from the building. It does blow the glass pane out or inward a little bit just from the force of the explosion. But it's nothing more that you can. It's like 1 slashing damage that you might take just as the glass kind of flies at you. Blair, you are on the ground. Thing you just got. What's going through your mind right now?
I think I just burned off all my leg hairs. I hope everything's still attached. Oh, okay.
All right, what's the second thing that goes through your mind?
I fucking hate these clockwork animals. Third thing, is somebody fucking sending these at us? It's, I'm gonna heal myself off the ground, off or with like the stairs I got embedded into, and
yeah, you have like a little bit of a singe, like the bottom of your or like the waistband of your boxers like singed a little bit just from like where you got flung backwards, the heat of the explosion.
And I am going to run out the front door and like do a see if I can see any more of the clockwork animals heading towards us.
You run out the door and you see Typhus having just like taken the shot. You see like the shingles and the gutter that got blown off the roof. But you don't see anything clockwork around here. But you know that you heard more from inside, so you can assume that they're somewhere around.
Yeah. I'll let's just go left, and I'll turn the corner around that side of the house.
All right, turning around to the left side, you are now on the side of the house where the common room is on the first floor, where all the goblins are. So this is a very just so you know where you are in space. The running into the wall here is not a rabbit nor a raven. It is actually what appears to be like a large toad, a bullfrog, perhaps. And as it sort of hops onto the wall, you can see that it goes to hop and like it tries to get a hand on it and like it sticks for a little bit and then it hops down and then you see its throat start to swell a little bit more and then it hops back up and it manages to get like two of its little claws on there and then like it kind of slides off again. The throat swells up a little bit more and then it latches onto the side of the building and his throat begins to swell and glow with like an intense fiery heat.
Typhus, what happens if I take the key out? What does that mean?
Depends how I take it out.
Fuck it. Take out the key.
You go. Jeez, man. You remove the key, and the frog's eyes immediately light up red. First off, go ahead and give me one more slide. Give me a sleight of hand check or a dexterity save with disadvantage.
Okay.
This is how Blair dies.
Blair's fine. He's a toughie. Cool. I
Toad.
lost my D20 somewhere in the shadow world.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Well, luckily Google's right there for you if you need.
Yeah. Let's take.
Don't trust Google. It's never gonna be great.
I'll roll.
Yeah.
I found it. I found it. Okay. Disadvantage, you said?
Yep.
5.
Okay. Blair, you are going to take 8 points of fire, so 4 points of fire damage because you are a tiefling. As the equivalent of napalm is spread all over this wall, and the force sort of blows an air like it blows a hole in the wall, and the air kind of carries the fire into the building as all the goblins kind of scramble back. It looks like another one didn't make it. That was too close to this explosion. Again, all of the goblins are rattling all of their scales. They're all starting to turn the different colors of the room as they sort of try to blend in with the walls a little bit more. You can look right in their eyes and you know that they're afraid as they sort of like huddle together. Blair, you are also going to be on fire. So at the start of every single one of your turns, you can make a sleight of hand check to see if you can put out the fire. But otherwise, you're going to be taking 1d4 halved of fire damage.
Alrighty.
But the house now is on fire from an explosion that rocked the side of it, dangerously close to where the goblin sage is locked away. We are now on Arnold.
Typhus went outside.
As did Blair.
As did Blair. Delrin went to the side of the house?
She's in the kitchen still. Okay. She just knocked a bird away from the house and it exploded in the distance.
I opened a window.
Mm-hmm. There is in the kitchen, Arnold. There is one. It sounds like there's one more thing on the side of the house trying to get into the kitchen. And you can still hear some things coming from the back of the house, too.
I will make my way towards the thing on the side of the house, trying to get into the kitchen.
Okay. You want to hop out the window? You want to go around the doorway? What you think?
I'm hopping out the window if the window is open.
All right. Yeah, you get out there. You see This one looks like a couple of the ducks from the park. In fact, that one of them has a little bit of a dent in it. That was the one that Sylvia threw at the guard. You'd recognize that thing anywhere.
I knew you were spies all along.
And they're all sort of like pecking at there's 3 of them, and they're all pecking in unison on the side of the wall.
Stop it. I'm gonna try and grab one by the neck and see if I can hold it still while I'm not gonna pull the key out, but I'm gonna try.
You can pick them up. You can pick all of them up if you want to. They can only move in one direction.
Can I pick up all 3 of them and kind of like hold them by the neck? I imagine like the narrow the duck. I guess I'm thinking of geese maybe. Like
Ducks is the same.
Can I like
Ducks are
bundle
the
them
same.
up like I'm holding like bowling pins?
Yeah, you got them all. All the keys are still turning. It looks like they're all like moving at slightly different intervals. You can't really tell when they're going to end. Is the only thing.
Is the street empty?
Yeah, there's not a ton of people who live in this side of the city, like on this far the outskirts.
I'm gonna try and carry them all out to the street and just overhand, just throw them just in the opposite direction from the house. Just
You're just gonna hurl them.
Yeah.
You're just trying to hurl them as far as possible, right?
I think that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay, give me an athletics check with disadvantage because you're trying to throw multiple of them at once.
Why did I pick the thing I'm bad at? Oh, okay. This is I add a 1 to this. I'm not bad. I'm not bad at 17 total. With disadvantage?
Okay.
11.
11. Okay. I will say 2 like you have them by the neck and you kind of like whip them around a little bit and like let them go. 2 of them like tumble and they all get their wings out and like they're all flapping around as they go. They can 2 of them manage to make it just far enough away. One of them, like the key ends, detonates. It blows both of them up, but one of them manages to catch the wind and is flying directly back at you, Arnold, from where you threw it. And we're back to Typhus now. Typhus, you are devastatingly sure that other raven up there is going to be one of the next things to blow. And judging by the glow that's beginning to surround it, you can imagine this one has some incendiary firepower behind it.
Right into the bag. Take an aim again before this thing gets too close. And
okay.
That is a 10.
All right. This one, you managed to actually. You were trying to aim at the same spot, Typhus, because, what's the worst that could happen? You already got it once, right? You actually managed to clip it more along like one of its small, slender legs and cause it to tumble down onto the ground outside of the roof. So it's still active, but it's sort of like flapping around on the ground.
That looks like a problem. Somebody should do something about that. And I'm going to begin kind of inching back just a little bit away from this explosion. Because I'm also kind of sickly curious to watch something explode. And as much as we need to, help all these goblins and everything, I'm not going to lie. This is kind of tickling the back of my brain. The sick fascination.
Something occurs to you, Typhus. If you can figure out how to stop this bird from exploding, you might learn a lot of things from how it was constructed. Maybe even who rigged them to explode this way.
Oh, an idea! And I'm going to prance towards this bird. I'm going to go pick it up like a gleeful little boy. Completely.
All right, Delrin. You pick little bits of glass out of your hair. Like you have a little cut across your cheek from where like one of them like got you. You're brushing off your shoulders and stuff. And you saw Arnold, this lithe tabaxi, dive out the window, grab a bunch of things and throw them. Small explosions off in the distance. And there are still, as far as you know, you can still hear some things coming from the back of the house. There appears to be, from what you can tell, maybe like 2-ish more sounds that you can identify, sort of out the back door.
Okay. Is it faster to go through the window or through the house?
At this point, it'd probably be about equally speedy either way.
Okay, I'll go through the window.
Okay. Yep. You round the corner and you sure as shit see what looks like a small mechanical cat that's like scratching at the door, like inching up closer to like the handle. And you can even see like its little clockwork paw start to extend out into what looks like actual like what's the word I'm looking for? Vestigial like digits that can like grip and turn,
Crazy.
and is reaching for the doorknob. And on the other side of that, it looks like a small or about like the size of a toy poodle, but it is a ram, and it is slamming into the side of the house and actually starting to break off some of the sideboards of the house.
Okay. At the cat, I'm gonna say "Squeakums, go!" and I'm gonna throw my mouse, like in front of the cat to try to get its attention, and then I'm gonna try to murder the ram.
Okay. Your Squeakums sails gracefully through the air, as Squeakums always does, and bounces kind of pitifully off the cat's like faceplate, and like lands on the ground and is like, and then the cat just continues like grabbing onto the door. Now you can see like it's trying to get its claws like articulated enough to where it's not sliding off the metal, but actually getting purchase on it. Roll to hit that ram though. The DC is gonna be 12 on it.
All right. Oh, dang. I got a 10.
Got it. You swing as hard as you can, like blade side first on the axe, but you clip its horns at like just at the wrong angle. You're trying to sever it like right at the neck, near to the nape where the key is that's winding. But unfortunately, you glance off of the horns, and you can actually see the key skip ahead a little bit in its winding. It looks like you jostled it a little bit, closer into its explosion cycle. Blair, you just got exploded again and are now on fire. you want to roll a sleight of hand to see if you can get it out?
Yeah. Do you want me to take damage first?
Yes.
All right. I rolled a 3 there, and then so halved is we're gonna do 1 or 2.
Rounded down.
Rounded down. Okay.
Yeah, so you're gonna take 1 point of fire damage. And are unable to put it out, but
cool. I have a Let me roll my sleight here.
Yeah. Go for it.
3. So yeah, that's not happening.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. Yeah. You singe a little bit more. It's not the worst fire you've ever felt. I mean, like you've been in a couple of situations. Failed pyrotechnics. Got too close to a flame juggler at one of those festivals. That you used to like. The one that where you met Michael. Actually, one of those fringe sort of music festivals. Lots of tablets of things getting passed around, things to lick, good music vibes. You got caught on fire there. That one was worse. This though still does kind of suck. But looking into
hoodie.
Yeah, exactly. Looking into the small hole that was just blown into the side of this building, you can see a bunch of the goblins starting to hide away, edging away from the edges of the house. But there is a good amount of fire that's beginning to spread along this side of the house from the bullfrog that exploded here.
What can I do? Right now, Blair is trying to run the mental calculation of, should I try to put out this fire through unknown means, or do I need to deal with the other bombs?
This is a question for you, Blair. All you know is that there are some scared goblins in there that are getting dangerously close to a lot of things that would do them great harm, more harm than already the poor goblins that have suffered at the hands.
Derek, do something!
Derek appears from where he was. It looks like he was shuffling around for something downstairs. He's carrying 2 giant buckets of water and is like, "What are you doing? Don't just stand there!" And he's gonna toss one sort of in your direction. Is going to start immediately trying to put out some of the fires.
I'd get my head into it first and then start to.
Okay, yeah, you're no longer on fire. But Derek's gonna Yeah, you it's going to probably take a little bit more time to get most of the fire out. Derek goes to like get some more buckets, and he's like, I'll fill these up. Find a way to get the goblins to safety.
Come on. Best I can think.
They all just sort of like, they're still shying away. They're still like, obviously terrified. You're going to have something more convincing to get them to.
I look around for
you.
my goblin. I look around for my buddy.
You see the goblin that was sort of the vibing with you, Blair. It's somewhat close to where the goblin sage is, like backing up against that door.
Okay. I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna point upstairs.
Right?
You and everybody else upstairs is safer. They're attacking us at the ground level. Get upstairs. We'll be okay. And I can also like grab weapons, which are like good for defending us from the threats. Oh, look at me! Look at me! Look at my heart! I was on fire for you. Come on, trust me.
The goblin looks at you, Blair, and really, and for a moment, you sense a presence, like sort of nudging against your psyche, a kind of like a fuzzy, sort of gentle, like tugging at your very being as this goblin stares into your eyes and you stare back. The effects of the spark leaf causing you also to be clear-eyed and unblinking, and for a moment, you glimpse. It's sort of how the eyes glimpse things like that, but the soul, like an emotional pull and feeling that you're like, something about it, Goblonia makes a little bit more sense to you. It's not that it actually exists, and it's not necessarily that like the thoughts are not what upholds it. It's putting something, a moment of reflection in between what you're thinking and what everyone else is experiencing around you. That's what causes the bulwark. It's nibbling at the corner of your mind, but then suddenly the goblin jolts awake and like starts to bang its head on the door to the goblin sage's room.
I don't know if we should. Do you want to go in there?
Donk, 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 donk.
I open the door.
All of the goblins rush in there. And they all start to, again, like pulse with the sage who is still sitting in the middle of the room.
Mm-hmm. Do I hear any thumping on the other side of the wall?
Not in here. It would seem as though this is almost completely quiet on this side of the house.
All right. I'm going to stand at the door and ready a defensive action.
Amazing. Arnold, you have one angry duck flying at you.
I'd like to, in the most cat-like way possible, jump up and pluck the duck from the air.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Flying.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Give me a good acrobatics check there. Let's see how well you do this. No, sorry, a little bit louder.
That one? A 7.
A 7. Oh yeah,
lucky sevens.
You jump up, and as you go, you can. Okay, so Arnold, not to stereotype a tabaxi per se, but how cats do that like chittering thing whenever they see like birds or like squirrels, like where they're really excited, they really want to go after it, but they know they can't. Yeah, you start like something deep inside of your being like calls to you in that animal fashion. And instead, like you go to like jump, but instead your mind plays out the jumping and you're chittering at the bird. And it isn't until you come back to yourself where you realize that you've jumped completely behind where the bird was. And your big cat eyes like sort of keep tracking it as you chitter, and it flies back towards the house.
Uh-oh. Oh boy. This is
yeah. If you got a spell or something you want to sling, Brendan, or anything ranged wise, I would let you take a shot.
I've got stuff from like the starting gear, but I don't think I'd actually carry around like a short bow. I would say I'm still holding the fork from breakfast. May I throw the fork at the duck?
Yes, please go ahead and throw the fork. Yeah, throw the fork. Give me just a good dex attack roll on it.
We love an improvised weapon.
That is a just dexterity check. 19 or 21. 19 on the die. Yeah.
Sheesh. Yeah, man. Like you throw that fork and it like, again, like the calculus of your mind as you go to throw it is like you already have plotted out where the trajectory is. Like your feline brain, like the hunting instinct has already like told you where your hand's going to move before you even do it. And that fork flies and catches itself right in the wing joint of this duck in flight, causing it to curtail down in a corkscrew. In Typhus, as you are looking over this this potentially new bomb, you do hear a small thud behind you, and you see that the duck that Arnold just dropped to the ground is just enough behind you, but you can tell that you have time to either run away before both of these things explode, or try to figure out how the one that you are looking at works and risk blowing up.
Risk?
Oh man.
Oh, instantly, I'm taking every bit of reverse engineering knowledge that I can possibly get, and I'm going to go through every piece of this little bird as quick as I can with, I'll say it, little to no caution with the fear of blowing up in my mind. I am going to fully investigate as much as I possibly can from this contraption right in front of me.
Amazing. Please go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Come on, Papa needs a new pair of shoes. That is a 16.
With a 16, Typhus, you are able to very quickly, you've messed with these birds before in the park, like whenever no one's looking. Yeah, and you just crack open its case with a simple twist, something that not a lot of people, would know that these do. But as you do, you can see that, yeah, someone was definitely messing with this thing. This is not the same type of the same type of ravens that you've seen in the park. Somebody has changed around the gear ratios. These things have gone a massive distance to make it to where they are now, seemingly all time to get there together. And you sort of managed to unpluck the payload from this one. And so in addition to your general pipe bomb making, your general blasting caps, a little bit of the gunpowder inside, you now also have an incendiary payload that you can add to your inventory. Whenever you are doing your tinkering as an artificer, you will be able to use that incendiary payload to modify one of your tinkering gear. What are they called? The your artificer.
Yeah, my little artificer kit thing.
Yeah, your artificer things.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, yeah, Logan or Typhus, if you would go ahead and give me a slide. I will tell you, you can either do acrobatics, you can do a Constitution save.
Oh, Constitution,
or
100%.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
All right. That's a 3.
Oh
natural.
my god.
That's a 0 actual.
Wow.
I'm just going to say that you Typhus, you get the payload, you very gently like put it in your little paper bag, you roll it up nicely, you stick that in there. You go ahead and you put away your gun too, and you're just like, wow, I really did it. And then you're going to be knocked unconscious as the explosion blasts you back inside through the door.
Oh my god! He put it right next to the other explosives. This is a terrible idea.
So Typhus's small form kind of thunks into the through the doorway.
Slide across.
Delrin, from outside, you still are dealing with this ram and this cat. The cat is very close to getting inside.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that cat.
You're going to turn away from the ram?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you this cat has finally dug whatever pneumatic systems help it articulate its claws. It's finally dug into the metal of the door frame and or into the doorknob, and it's starting to twist it to you hear the of one of the locks as it starts to push inside, and you're going to go ahead and take a swing.
Yeah.
Are you aiming for any particular part, or are you just trying to whatever seems like it would do the most damage?
Probably whatever's gonna do the most damage. Knowing that it might blow up, so maybe not aiming for like the clock, the key part.
Yeah, I
'cause
got you.
that
Like too
seems
deep
to
in there.
be- Yeah, that seems to be the big mess with it explodes situation. So I'm gonna hit
All
like
right.
the
Yeah,
other
go ahead and
meaty part of
go ahead
it.
and give me an attack roll because you're aiming. Yeah, just let's see what you get.
Ooh, Mama got a 23.
Sheesh.
Oh,
Well,
man.
Mama definitely found, like, as the swing was going, you were originally going to be aiming more for like the head, but then the thought occurs to you of, well, what's this cat gonna do if it can't open the fucking door? And so you just cut off the paw, and
Mhm.
then the cat sort of like falls down a little bit. And shoot, for good measure, go ahead and cut off the other one too. And the cat just sort of like, is limp on the ground, kind of trying to shove itself against the door, but without anything to interact with it. The door just thuds shut behind it. And though it is still very much explosive, at the very least, it'll be explosive to the outside of the house and not getting in.
Can I pick it up?
However, yeah, absolutely. You have it in your hands, and the clockwork, like the eyes, the lenses of this cat are still peering directly at the door, and like even the back feet are trying to like jump out of your hand to kind of like get more towards the door. Like these things are, without a doubt, they were sent here to infiltrate and to destroy this home. But you have this explosive functionally in your hand that's trying to get out of your hands. So, are you going to? What are you going to do with it?
So I have a bedroll,
Okay.
which seemingly I would assume has like a blanket situation.
Yeah, it's basically a sleeping bag.
Okay, great. Can I get away with tying the cat to the ram
Okay.
with my bedroll?
Why not? You have something that can bundle it. Like, okay, so you're going to just like kind of bundle the cat in the bedroll and then just kind of how are you going to secure the cat to the ram, I guess is my question.
The ram's got like a neck, right? That's probably like
Yeah.
the thinnest part of it. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
like take the cat body, I'm gonna stick it on the neck, and then I'm gonna wrap the blanket around it and tie just a knot.
Okay,
that
so just
it's
like
stuck to the ram.
so I would love to see how good that knot is that you just tied, because that's going
Yeah,
to tell
you
a lot
would.
about what's about to happen. Would you give me a survival check, please?
Sure will. Got a +2 to that. Aha! And I rolled a 16, so it's an 18.
The cat, you're pretty sure, like, you managed to like bundle the cat in to where it's like a flat lump on the back of the ram and like tie it underneath the legs so that it can't like jostle itself loose. And you now have a cat tied to the ram.
Fantastic.
Okay. We'll come back to what happens with that after. Blair, you are protecting this room. You hear a lot of hoopla going on. You see Typhus's lit body start to roll back inside from being blown through the front door, the opposite direction now.
Ooh.
And you sort of glance around and you hear a chip, 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 chip. And you see very slowly scuttling its way towards you, just the smallest little, it looks so cute, little clockwork mouse, it's just scurrying along the ground. Seems like it may have gotten in from one of the other holes. It's just sort of making its way in there. It's heading up to the door. It's like, oh man, what a cute little clockwork rat. What are you gonna do, Blair?
I've learned my lesson.
Yeah.
You said it was moving pretty slowly, right? It was just going like
It's skittering towards you. Like it's
It's
sort of
skittering?
it's making its way. Yeah.
catchable easily.
Catchable, sure. Yeah, easily depends on how you're doing.
Bad, personally.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I've readied my defensive action, so I feel like I should
Yeah.
have an easier time intercepting here.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Just what are you going to try to hit it away? Are you going to try to grab it? and
So,
run
like,
with
I don't
it?
have shit with me. I left that all upstairs. I just got a hoodie and a boxers to work with, and the boxers and the hoodies are both falling apart at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to just swipe it and like grab it,
Okay.
pick it up.
Yeah. Give me an animal handling check, actually, with advantage.
Animal
'Cause we're kind of
handling?
ready for it. Yeah.
Okay. 15.
You sweep it up and you have it in your hands. It's like you can feel its little like clockwork legs kind of trying to kick its way through. But you take one look at its little eyes and you're like, man, this thing would be cute if it wasn't a bomb. And then you remember that it is in fact a bomb and will probably be going off rather soon.
And then I am going to run out of the room toward this, like the sort of the portal of the front door. And using my 15 strength for some reason, I'm going to throw this thing as hard as I can in the opposite direction. Just launch it out of the front door.
All right, one more check for me on athletics there.
19.
19, wonderful. Yeah, you chuck it as far as you can. Arnold, from the distance, you see Blair hurl something small that's like heading into your, like, you ran out of the house, you were dealing with the ducks. You see Blair run out the front door and throw something towards you.
This is my keys.
Oh, you raise your hands to catch what's coming in. You see what looks like it looks like a little mouse actually is kind of flying towards you, and the chitter start back up. The cat brain deep inside is like, oh shit, something flying through the air at me.
I'm gonna try and catch it, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, you can try to fight the instinct if you want.
I think I didn't trust it immediately the first time, and I just got to let instinct kick in. That's what happened. That's what went wrong.
Yeah. So, you hop up deft on cat, and in your mouth, you manage to catch, sort of like by where the nape would be on this rat. Like it would have been a clean bite right through, like broken his neck if it was organic. Instead you feel like the slight crunch of like tinfoil. And then you hear a what appears to be like a ringing, and you, for a moment, you feel like you see your body from the outside as this strange ripple emanates from this mouse, and it doesn't explode, but it does emit something, and it seems to almost push your perspective out of your body to where you're looking at events from the outside, and you hover there momentarily.
Is this Goblonia?
And then darkness. Arnold is unconscious outside.
Oh, no.
We'll call that your HP and psychic damage, whatever you have left, as rippled through you from this rat. Typhus, you're knocked out from the explosion. Delrin, you've got a cat tied to a ram. What are you doing?
Okay, so I'm going to rage as a bonus action.
Yes.
Okay.
It gives advantage to strength checks and saves. So I'm going to grab the ram and I'm going to throw it.
just hawk it away again.
As hard and as far as I can. It seems to be the plan and it's working pretty well.
Yeah, that's so far so good at least. Give me an athletics check if you do not mind, please. And just so you know, this is going to be like a DC 15. This is a very heavy thing.
Well, I rolled a 19 on the dice, so
holy cow!
That's
all right, yeah,
be a big number, 21.
Yeah, nice. You are able to throw it about 10 feet away, enough to where like it sort of lands and like topples over. And you can see that because of the way that this thing's built, it doesn't really have like a self-righting mechanism. So you see like the cat on the back is like kind of kicking with its back legs to try to get out of the blanket, while the ram is just kind of like articulating its feet back and forth, like while moving its head like back and forth too. And eventually like you almost feel bad for it. Almost. Because then it in the last moment, you see its eyes light up red, demonic flare to indicate that it's about to explode. Around
the other direction.
Yeah, it's the shockwave itself is going to hit you, but the actual force of it isn't. It's going to knock you down. And as the dust sort of settles, Blair, you see Typhus and Arnold out the front door, completely out. You see Derek desperately trying to put out the fire on the side of a house. On the side of the house, one of the windows is blown through. If you sort of peek around the corner, you can kind of see Delrin like face first on the ground from a massive explosion. But at the very least, everything is quiet.
Did we get all of them?
Trying to look back at the sage.
The door is still open. The goblin sage is still there. The same scale flickering in the light. All the other goblins are attuned. They all have their eyes closed. Simply that one scale flickering.
Okay. Let's. I'm gonna help Derek put out the fire now.
Okay.
I'm walking like a man who has endured 2 explosions at point blank range.
Delrin, you come around the corner too. You see the same thing that Blair has seen. Derek's put out the fire, and he's just sort of like staring out that side of the house where there's now a gaping hole singed on the side, and he just looks a little bit like lost. Especially, and then he glances down at the 2 bodies no longer moving of the goblins that were caught in the explosions, and Blair and Delrin, both of you feel as tangibly as if it spawned from you itself the deep grief and sorrow of Derek Stormfighter, seemingly amplified through your psychic expressions by the presence of the goblin sage.
I'm gonna go up to Derek and just like he's so tall. I'm gonna wrap my arms around his legs because that's what I can reach.
Mhm.
And I just lean my head against him and I'm like, "It's okay, Big D. We kept him safe as much as we could."
And what did any of these poor creatures do to deserve this?
You know they didn't do anything to deserve it. It's just nasty fuckers being nasty fuckers.
I was meant to be the protector of these. I'm the protector of Goblonia. I am the protector of Goblonia. And then you start to feel like that's from that same deep pit of despair. You now start to feel a red hot wrath, like an iron poker suddenly getting stabbed into your heart. The fury beginning to spread within your chests as well. And Typhus and Arnold, through the darkness of your slumber, you also feel this passion as it ignites. And Derek Stormfighter, for the first time, stands up straight. His robes now fully blown off of his shoulders, and you can see the deep scarring that mats this guy's body. He has been through, it seems, a meat grinder, both of the body and the soul. But that passion, as it flares up, Derek Stormfighter stands, and for a moment you see what the goblin sage sees or feels whenever Derek is around, and that is a being made of pure white light, standing tall in front of what appears to be a small settlement with tiny beings moving in and out, crops growing, but with a flaming with a sword that crackles as a bolt of lightning. This stalwart figure, the protector of Goblonia, stands, Derek Stormfighter. And as you feel as though your soul can't handle any more of this anger, this wrath, this fury that Derek channels for all of these things that are lost and for all of the innocence that gets burned away by greed and evil, suddenly there is a psychic pulse emitted from Derek that is picked up by all the goblins, including the sage. And all at once, everyone feels a kind of quiet that they don't think that they felt in a long, long time. This burst of energy brings a kind of solemnity, a stillness, a peace that is not something that any of you really are ever used to. And moreover, Blair, you sort of you go back to the table, kind of like just thumbing through all the wreckage, and you see your portal that was laying there on the table that you had gotten out to show Derek earlier. But looking into it for the first time, you don't see anything at all. It is simply a black piece of stone. And Derek, sort of slumps after that outpouring of huge psychic energy, and he just goes silently, picks up the body of Typhus outside and brings him in, goes and kind of helps Arnold up and walks Arnold inside too, very solemnly goes up, puts them both to bed, tucks them in, goes downstairs. He picks up the bodies of both of the small goblins, cradling them in his arms, and simply walks out the back door. And we are going to call the session there. So thank you, everyone, for joining in for this episode of the Final Rules Chaos. I, as always, am Tim, your dungeon master, joined by Brendan, who played Arnold, Zak, who plays Blair, Logan, who plays Typhus, and our very special guest, Emily, who played the wonderful Delrin, halfling barbarian. Emily, since you are our very special guest, do you have anything that is coming up for you on your own artistically that you are really looking forward to, something you want to plug? I know you do the improv troupe, as well as things with LSC. What do you have coming up soon that you want to get people aware of?
Yeah, sure. So the improv troupe I'm with is called Justin the Femur, actually with Chase. And we do a show monthly. Our next one is going to be on July 10th at the Arts Council of Baton Rouge. And tickets are only like $15 if you want to come see some improv. We also will have Louisiana Shakespeare Company auditions for Hamlet on June 27th. It's a Saturday. I believe there should still be audition spots. If you want to look them up on Facebook, you can find the link to apply for that.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Emily. Again, having very special guests on has always been one of the best parts, I think, of the Final Rule. So I speak for all of us whenever I say thank you so much. And of course, everyone watching at home, thank you as well. This has been the Final Rules. We do these live streams every first and third Mondays of the month. The first Mondays for the Final Rules Order. And then we, of course, are the Final Rules Chaos. We also have the edited podcast releasing on those days for the session previous. So you are more than welcome to catch up. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing so that we can start doing our cool emotes from the Discord on the YouTube channel. That's like really the only reason why I want to reach that subscriber goal. And also for that, to that point, come join our Discord too. We have links, I think, in all of the bios of our various social medias, including the YouTube. Join the Discord, submit suggestions into our bucket channel. Come hang out with us. We're all, I feel like, pretty active on it. But otherwise, that's all I've got. So I have been Timothy Underwood. This has been the Final Rules Chaos, and I hope that everyone out there has a great night. Goodbye.
Good night. Good night.